Morning, folks. A good day to you, rather. Here's another episode in 3-year-old Unbroke Mr. Smokes starting. He's been struggling with what I call over exuberance and also over butt munchery. uh, he tends toward not quite aggressive, but when you get on him, he doesn't like it and he's trying to correct you. So last session, I made a pretty good fix about that by adding active leadership and still not withholding the passive leadership, but I enhanced the active leadership. So we'll see how he does today. Boy. Since my primary thing is to get on him today some more and try to get him going with a better, this is not about his attitude as much as it is about the emotions. It doesn't matter what the emotions are. If you get on an unbroken, they have too much emotions. Emotions can quickly slide across the spectrum and either go toward over exuberance or even over defensiveness, and that results in an explosion. And when a horse explodes, they don't learn anything. The whole idea is to keep his emotions in such a way that he can learn. Now, I take their emotions up and down to teach them to not take their emotions up and also how to handle themselves with those high feelings. So, I mean, that's something you got to do. But when you're trying to get the horse going under saddle, unless you love to get the buck out of a horse, which is nuts. I kind of look at it the opposite direction. I'm at the opposite extreme, and that is I never want to see a horse buck with a human on it. It's uncalled for. It means that the trainer isn't as skillful at shaping the horse's feelings so they don't feel a need to buck. That's the trick. Is shape their feelings so they don't feel a need to buck. Bucking in the beginning is normally defensiveness. Okay, so anyhow, enough of that lecturing. Sorry, you've heard it if you've watched any of these. So, I need him to walk, trot, canter before I get on him without any extracurricular activities, and I want to interview his attitude and see how he feels about me today and how this relationship is doing. Good boy. And he's crowding me. He's wanting to come in. He started to put his ears back. I immediately interacted with him, and I'm turning it off. He keeps putting his ears back. He's not pinning them. It's a halfway back. It's belligerence, not aggressiveness. That's the word I wanted to look for earlier. And there's something I didn't ask for. That was deliberate on his part. Okay, and you can see this is over exuberance. I just want him to walk around. He's asking me, is that good enough? No, I didn't tell you to do anything except walk. Don't offer stuff. Don't volunteer stuff. I want you to mentally engage me, get out of your head and get into my head. And right now he's exclusively in his own head. He thinks he's trying to please me, maybe. What? And you can see right there, he started to come at me with his ears pinned. I don't know if you could have seen that, I might have been in the way, but he looked at me, pinned his ears, and started to come at me, almost basically to threaten or attack me, and I immediately recognized it, and I called him off of it. And the problem is, it gets a worse feeling when you get on them. You know, and do you want to be on a horse that is belligerent and wants to pin your ears and attack you? No. And every time he comes toward me the way he did right there, Dante, chill. Okay. Now, if he comes in like that with his ears flip-flopping and not pinned, it's a little different. He's asking kind of for a truce right here. And it's because I stopped paying attention to him that he came in, because I've got Mr. Dante here in the training queue in his paddock, and he's running around going silly when this guy runs around. Good. There we go. And I'm not using my lariat today. I'm using hand signals deliberately. The idea is, at some point, you want to ask your horse, what's the least I have to do to make that happen? So you want to do, and right there you can see again, that was a pinning of the ears and attempting to come at me, but he aborts it because he knows, this guy's, he might eat me for dinner tonight. But doesn't mean he's going to stop. Right there! Right there. So, I'm going to go ahead and grab this lariat, because he is not ready for me to ask the question, what's the least I have to do to make this happen? He needs more active leadership. I've apparently had too much passive leadership, which normally I say there's no such thing. And I'm going to continue to say there's no such thing as too much passive leadership, but there is such a thing as not enough active leadership. This guy is like the kid in the back of a classroom throwing spitballs, and a teacher comes up to him and says, "Johnny, naughty boy." And as she's walking away with her back turned, heading to the front of the class, he hits her in the back of the head with a spitball, thinking to himself, is that all she's got? Is that all she's got? You know? And sometimes, in my day, well, that kid would probably get hit in the back of the head by an eraser. And it'd probably be the last time he dissed a teacher. And today, the teacher would be arrested. Well, it's societal changes. That's how things go. I don't know how you're supposed to deal with an individual that needs that discipline and structure. Some people just need to be overwhelmed with discipline. If you haven't met one of those, congratulations. Good. Good. Darn sweat. Okay, and that was the driver point home. I asked him to do something, and he gave me the finger. He knows what I want. I know he knows what I want. The reason I quit was so he can learn from his mistake. If I keep pushing him around, I'll have corrected him and not given him the chance to integrate the correction, to absorb it, to internalize it, to learn it. What's the point in correcting a horse and not giving him the chance to learn the correction, to learn the lesson from the correction? Hey, let's try that again. See, he knows what I want. And I do just want to walk. So this, what you're seeing right here is exactly what I'm telling the owner. I've got a combination of exuberance and belligerence. And I'm trying to describe this behavior you're seeing right now where he's moving a lot more than he has to move. He's 3, he's enjoying that movement. But there's also this part component to this behavior because he knows what I want. And he's deliberately refusing it, which is very unusual in a horse. So I got to set him up for success. Hey, there you got a really? Now you tell me that that wasn't deliberate. Very interesting behavior right there. I'm going to grab your freaking flag, which I haven't even used with him. I'm going to grab your flag. I'm going to tear it. Wow. So you can see there's no defensiveness with the tack. When I get on him, there's no defensiveness from me being on him per se. It's just, it wells up these emotions of both belligerence and exuberance. And he's just way too emotional under saddle. He's basically being like this. Can't teach a horse that's feeling that way in the saddle. Need a calm, relaxed, thoughtful horse. I'm going to make it so. And that's what I'm looking for, right there. Nice, thoughtful, deliberate response. Asking the question, what's Dave want me to do? Oh, I know what he wants me to do. Am I going to do it? Yeah, I'm going to do it. So I'm turning off the exuberance. I'm trying to, by moving his feet around, active leadership. Are you miffed that I took that flag away? You couldn't tear it up? So tearing that flag up, I mean, that just exhibits his emotions of wanting to act out, wanting to destroy something. He wants to act out toward me, but he knows it's a really bad idea, even though he's kind of trying. Yes, I am inviting you in. Come on in. Let's talk about this. Man to man. This is ridiculous. Come on in. Come on in. I know the way you're feeling that's hard for you. I'll put this down. I'll come pick you up. So what I'm trying to do here is shape his feelings. I don't want to fight. Who wins a fight? Nobody. I don't want to fight with this horse. Come on. I want to offer him peace. Now, the funny thing is, when you're a young 3-year-old and somebody says, let's just relax and chill, maybe that's not what you want to do. Maybe you want to get on a skateboard and run around town, or maybe you want to do something extremely athletic and enjoy your body, and what you can get out of it. So exuberance is understandable, but when you're trying to ride a horse, I'm trying to teach him things as a youngster. And I am going to throw this out there again. I mentioned this in my last video. The way this horse is acting is a perfect candidate for a horse that should be ridden for 30 days this year and put away till next spring. He needs to get some emotional maturation under his head. You can try to mature a horse with training like this. In some horses it's possible, and some it's not. Some the only thing that works is time. I've seen horses that they need to be 7 years old before they're emotionally ready to be ridden safely, consistently. And this guy's defaulting to eating. I don't blame you for that. My round pen shouldn't have grass in it. Not his fault. The way you've been acting, you haven't earned the right to stand in here and do nothing. I invited you in to offer a moment of peace there with you, help you out, and show him. Basically, you need to show the difference between this is peace, this is not peace, so that they can choose the peace. Right now, he's choosing I'm having fun. And this is the best reason to lunge a horse, a young horse, is to interview their brain and say, who do I have with me today? Do I have the 2-year-old or the 8-year-old? And you want to work on the brain and try and get the 8-year-old to come out. Don't you dare! And you can see all this stuff he's doing right here. I'm not doing anything. I'm just telling him to turn, which takes a lot of effort on his part. It's very tiring for him to turn at the canter like I'm asking him to. So you think? Hi there! Nice to see a brain home. Yeah, it's good to see there's a brain there. Ah! Not letting you come in. Stand right there. Stand right there. Interestingly, oh, I'm not going to talk about that. Never mind. Now notice I'm not causing him to canter. I'm causing him to turn. And there he turned into me. That was not a mistake. He's just making a bunch of shit up right now. And he's coming into me again. Someday this is going to be an amazing cow horse. Not today. Now, in his defense, this is the first day he's been worked down here with Dante in this neighboring paddock. And Dante's a very emotional horse. He's a little weird. That's why he's here. I'm trying to fix him. And his presence and his activity is adding to this guy's emotions, making it all that much harder for him to grab a hold of himself and think clearly. I'm not going to invite him in and enjoy the comfort of my company. I need him to soak a little bit and consider, hey, what we've been doing. No, 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 no. Turn and face. Oh, oh, be quiet, Dante. Good, good. So normally I say the objective of lunging is not to wear a horse out physically. It's mental / emotional exercise to prepare the horse's mind, both its thinking and its emotions, for the task you're about to engage in. To interview it and say, are you ready to do this? Are you with me? Are you thinking about me? But occasionally, kind of got to get to them, to their brain, through their body. I prefer to go the other way around, get into their head, and have them give me their body, and get to the body through the head. Nope. Come on. Let's walk it off. Come on. Why'd you stop? Come on. Come on. Interesting feelings today. Now, I did see last week what I thought was phase 2 regression. I did not think necessarily had seen phase 4 regression yet. It's possible. That's what this is. Horses have 5 phases of horse learning. I got it. I don't have it. I got it again. I don't have it again. I really don't have it again. And then phase 5 is I got it forever. They've got to go through those 4 phases to get to phase 5. I've got it forever. And he's really struggling. It's okay. It's important for us to remain consistent and not let our feelings get in the way. Our feelings of why aren't you learning? Why aren't you progressing? Why do you keep doing this? I mentioned yesterday, it's not important where the horse starts at the beginning of the day. It's where it finishes at the end of the day compared to where it was at the start of the day. If it starts the same place today that it was started yesterday, that's fine. A lot of times people expect, well, I finished right here. I expect the next morning for it to pick up where I left off. No, you might go all the way back to where you started yesterday, and they might do that for 100 days in a row. Hopefully not, especially if you're being paid for 4 weeks of training. That'd be a bummer. But every horse is different and unique. Now he hasn't... Oh, I didn't grab my helmet. Guess I'd better stop this and go get my helmet before I put his bridle on. You're going to want to see him munching. So this is part 1. There'll be a part 2. It's only 27 minutes. Okay.